Right, well, she's either going to believe me immediately or slap me in the face. I guess you could say I have a sort of sixth sense. A sixth sense, as in psychic. I guess you could call it that? Can you give me details on how it works? Oh, she actually sounds like she might believe me, which is... I either thought she wouldn't believe me, or she'd already know about these kind of things. Not that she'd just believe me unconditionally. Whatever. I can't really say, I just feel things. I get sick sometimes, and then I know something bad has happened. That's alright. I mean, you're only ever ill when someone around you's murdered. I mean, how often is that going to be? Alright, quite a lot in this guy's life, alright? Now that I think about it. Naoki is staring hard at me, as if I should keep quiet. I guess talking about my Kansei is a bad idea. Still, I feel as if she deserves at least partial truth. I see. I suppose it's different then. Different from what? Many years ago, Mr. Orton experimented with extending the mental capacities of human beings. Oh, God, and she's going to say that a few of them went rogue, isn't he? Look how... Kansei? Naoki looks like he's absolutely shitting himself. Oh, God. It's not quite you described, though. What sort of experiments? I don't really know much about it. It was a long time ago, before I started working for him. He just mentioned it in passing once, so I thought it might have something to do with it. He was terribly drunk at the time, though, so I suppose he might not have even been telling the truth. Sorry, I'm jumping to the strangest conclusions here. I must not be very good frame of mind, right? Of course, your employer's dead! You don't have a job anymore! Sophia sighs and shuts her eyes. She looks like she wants to cry again. Sorry, you really cared about Mr. Orton, didn't you? For a moment, Sophia didn't respond. Her shoulders shudder as she takes in a deep breath. Finally, she opens her eyes and speaks in barely more than a whisper. We were lovers? Yeah, they almost definitely were, weren't they? I don't know what I'm going to do now that he's gone. I'm so sorry. Naoki places a gentle hand on Sophia's shoulder. For a moment, I feel strange. She definitely sounds sincere, but something about what she's just said sounds off. I'm sorry, I just really want to find the person who did this. If there's anything you need to know, just ask, okay? Yeah, sure, thanks. Oh, she almost definitely is doing... She's up to something there. She must be. Alright, first of all, let's examine the room. It's just a normal kettle, nothing suspicious about that. It's empty. It's empty. A spoon with a hole in the bottom. Probably not too useful for serving soup, but perfect for straining pasta. It's not a spoon. It's called a pasta strainer, isn't it? I might be wrong. A small jar of salt. Looking at how large the grains are, I'd guess kosher. Who the fuck knows that? Alright, whatever. It's a dish towel. It's about exciting. It's about exciting as a limp towel. Yeah, alright, so that's going to be the case with all that. There's hot tea in there. Naoki probably made it. A microwave. It's very clean. Sophia likes to keep things very tidy around here. The fridge is pretty well stocked, but it's all pre-packaged food. I guess no one cooks here. Up here, no drinks, nothing? Nothing on the alcohol. Oh, what's through here? This door leads back into the hallway. Oh, right, so we've already looked there. Looks like a gas stove, commercial grade. Some spoons and a spatula. They're all a bit dusty. There's a cycling bin in there. It's about half full of glass and plastic bottles. Right, okay, so we're done exploring. Let's talk to Naoki. What do you think about Mr. Orton's death? What do you think about Mr. Orton's death? What do I think? I think it's terrible. I really don't like having to see dead bodies. Well, I mean, who do you think did it? I can't really say. I don't want to make any judgments. He glances to the side and begins to absent-mindedly fiddle with his fingers. Can you at least tell me your thoughts on everyone here? Oh, Liam is pretty angry about his uncle. His eyebrows went down every time he spoke about him. He covered his face when Aki started asking more questions, so he's got something to hide. I'm pretty sure Marissa's hiding something too. Every time she smiles, her eyebrows go up as if she's worried. After she's finished her interview with Mr. Orton, she was even more nervous than before. So, alright, she's got an obvious motive to poison him. She's got... Because she could be like a court... We know that there's now spies involved, so she could obviously be a spy, get in, poison his drink whilst he wasn't looking, and leave. But it's not going to be that, because that's way too obvious. Naoki glances at Sophia before leaning in and whispering. Sophia was pretty frustrated when we came, but now she's really anxious. She won't stop pacing back and forth. And what about Kevin? Who's Kevin? Oh, okay, he knows who Kevin is. You met that guy with red hair? I didn't really get to see his face, sorry. Don't worry about it, I was just curious. Really, it's good enough that you know this much. I'm kind of impressed. I've been studying body language for a while now. No, that's fine, thanks. And let's speak to Sophia. Why do you work for Mr. Orton? Why? What a weird question. I would have been asked, are you having an affair? Oh, God, that is definitely I'm an independent woman stance. Look at that, come on. Look at that and tell me is if we painted her skin brown, it would look a bit like Beyonce, wouldn't it? Oh, God. Mr. Orton values my services. I am a trained professional and an excellent personal assistant. That wasn't really an answer. What I meant was, why did you choose to work for him? I have personal reasons, but my employment is both legal and morally sound. That's not what I asked. Alright, can we say anything to Naoki about that? No, we can't. You got to make sure, you've got to, definitely with these games, you've got to brute it through a little bit. Alright, let's move into this one here. I'm hoping to find Lee May. Ah, okay, cool, this is Lee May. Examine the room before we speak to her. Some old armour from the Qin dynasty, if the label is to be believed. Looks like it's still in decent condition. So I guess it's worked pretty well for whoever owned it previously. Unfortunately, I don't know where the Qin dynasty is. These plates have the same animals as the tapestry. I guess these creatures are really important. If we keep clicking on all of them, that's going to say the same thing. A very nice urn. It must have been very expensive when it was first made. It's probably even more expensive now. I'm straight. Alright, so we can't click on that gold thing above there. Let's see this. A strange tapestry with animals on them. There's a turtle and some bird. Not sure what the other two are. That is no way to speak about a woman now. Oh, it's an actual bird. Okay, gotcha. There are a lot of strange markings on this thing. According to the label, it's an oracle bone. I guess people tried to see the future with this. Yeah, that's why it's called the oracle, you twat. It's some sort of box. There's no label on it. I guess it's not that important. As far as here, can we not click on that? No, alright. I'm seeing, is there anything else? A window? This, no, okay, so that's all beneath here. Just making sure, now that we've got a clear frame, that there's nothing. That there? No, okay, it's going to keep telling us from the art dynasty. Alright, what's that? I'm not sure where that door leads. Outside, I guess? Either way, it's locked. Alright, so that's done exploring. We've learnt absolutely bugger all from exploring so far. Lee May is gazing blankly in the direction of a collection of old plates. I approach, but she barely seems to notice my presence. So, hey. Lee May blinks slowly and turns to face at me. She nods once to acknowledge my presence. Oh, fuck her life. I shift my weight from one foot to the next as she stares at me expectantly. What am I even supposed to say? How are you feeling? That's a terrible thing to ask. She stares at me with a mixture of surprise and confusion. I don't know. She states it so simply, I almost feel foolish for asking. I guess I was wondering if you were just okay, since someone died after all. She tilts her head and looks at me curiously. Does it bother you? Does it bother me? Death. Oh, God. Not really. I guess I'm used to it by now. Yeah, of course it bothers me. Well, not really would suggest that he's not too convinced by his answer. Where, yes, of course it bothers me would be probably the more truthful one. But to be perfectly honest, I didn't care. Yeah, of course it bothers me. I mean, even if I experienced it before, that doesn't mean I'm okay with it. Death is a terrible thing no matter how often you see it. I stare at my hands and rub my fingers slowly together. My palms feel sweaty. What about you? Doesn't care. Lee May stares at me curiously, as if she doesn't fully understand my question. I mean, are you bothered by death? She fidgets and examines her open palms in the same way I just did. Slowly, she rubs together her fingertips, as if she's never seen her hands before. Finally, she speaks. He was very scared. Oh, God. That's not an answer I wanted. Alright. Mr. Orton? Yes. But even though I felt his fear, I knew that he was not scared. Oh, that I was not scared. I'm not scared, but I feel scared. Does that mean I'm bothered or not bothered? I sigh and lean against the doorframe. You know, I've always wondered what it would feel like to die. Li Mei tilts her head to the side. She looks curious. I mean, I've experienced deaths, of course, but they're not mine. And somewhere in the back of my mind, every time I do it, I always know it's not mine. I've always wondered, when I die, will I be afraid, or will I just think that it's someone else's death again? Or maybe by the time I die, I'll be so comfortable with it, I won't care, even though I know it's mine. I turn to face Li Mei. She's watching my face carefully. I don't know, that wasn't really an answer, huh? I laugh and shrug casually. Honestly, I don't even know why I said any of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there isn't really an answer. You and I both have to carry other people's emotions. It's tiring and sometimes confusing. But I think that if we didn't have these same abilities, we'd still be sad when other people are sad and scared when other people are scared. That's what's being human. Li Mei smiles and takes my hand in hers. Thank you. Sure, you're welcome. Holy shit, that's a lot of questions we can ask her. Let's fill our boots. What is everybody feeling right now? Naoki is scared, of course. No, I meant the others, not our friends. Oh, I apologise. I was going to say, like, that's no surprise, but I'm not entirely sure I care either. It's fine, I wasn't very specific. Li Mei takes a deep breath and closes her eyes again. This time, it takes her a little longer to sort out her thoughts. Sophia is sad. She feels as if there is no hope, but there is also relief. Relief? Again, I feel uneasy about Sophia. Earlier, when I asked if she cared about Mr. Rawton, she didn't actually answer me. All she said is that she didn't know what she'd do now that he's gone. I don't know why that bugs me so much, but it feels like she was avoiding the question. She's a personal assistant. She's professionally trained to avoid questions. Marissa is scared and disappointed. Oh, she's not disappointed because she fucking lost her job, is she? There's so much emotion inside of her. It's all flowing at the same time. She wants to be happy, but she also feels very, very guilty. Humans are very complicated. Don't tell me this is the point where she's like, I am alien, E.T. von Hum. That's not how E.T. speaks. Li Mei nods earnestly, as if she just struck a new idea. I nod in return. Kevin is uncertain. He doesn't know what he should be feeling. He definitely seemed to have trouble believing me when I told him that Mr. Rawton died. Denial, I guess. And Liam... I can't. What's wrong? He is with Aki right now. She is manipulating his emotions with her Kansei. I cannot tell what is his and what is not. That girl seems to enjoy invading everybody's privacy. It's a wonder that Naoki and Li Mei put up with her. Hopefully, whatever she's up to will lead to something useful. Well, it definitely won't, will it? What did you do before you lived with Aki and Naoki? I'm not allowed to speak about that. That's not a good answer. Is there anything you are allowed to speak about? Li Mei closes her eyes and takes a small breath. Her lips move slowly, as she's poring over the list of things she's allowed to share. Finally, she opens her eyes and smiles with a self-satisfied look on her face. Don't say breakfast. Equally as useless. I'm authorised to share anything that might aid your investigation. Whoa, what's with that phrasing? She sounds so formal all of a sudden. What does that calligraphy in the front wall say? No dust settles here. It means that the place is quiet and safe from the influence of the outside world. Okay. I'm sure somehow down the line that'll make sense. Do you know much about the artifacts in this place? Li Mei nods. Okay. I was going to say, can you tell me about them? Oh, I remember the Spanish when I was in school were terrible for doing that. You had to go out and buy a notebook, and but you've got to ask for a specific one because of the measurements and whether it's squared or lined. And you go, have you got this, this, and this? Yeah. Have you got it here? Yeah. Could you fucking go and get it, please? Oh, right, okay. Fucking asking out of curiosity. Like, could you maybe tell me about them, if you wish? Yeah, I do. Most are safety charms meant to ward off danger. I turn to the large tapestry on the wall. What about this? What are these animals? You need help with what those animals are? Really? Alright. They are the 4 legendary creatures. Dragon, tortoise, phoenix, and tiger. Alright, I get his point. That's not a tiger. What? Someone can draw a phoenix, a dragon, and a tortoise very well. But he clearly had given up towards the end and just got pissed when he was drawing the tiger. Oh dear. For some reason, this mythology feels familiar, but I'm not sure why. It's not anything I've ever studied. Do they stand for anything in particular? Many things. Seasons, directions on a compass, sometimes schools of thought. Overall, they represent balance. It's weird, they feel kind of familiar, especially the tiger. The tiger and the dragon are mortal enemies. Li Mei reaches to touch the tapestry, but she hesitates and draws her hand back. The dragon represents cunning and intelligence. The tiger represents raw power and strength. Oh, good. Really? The massive fire-breathing dragon is actually a bit of a wimp. Alright, what's this Chinese mythology, I suppose? Dragon and tiger, mind and body. They fight each other constantly and neither can win. My stomach tightens up as I look at the tapestry hanging on the wall. An endless fight where neither can win. Li Mei watches me carefully. She's trying to decipher my emotions. But I don't fully understand what I'm feeling. What bothers you? I'm not sure. It's probably nothing. Li Mei doesn't seem satisfied with my response. No surprise there, since I'm not satisfied either. She's quite grumpy. Since I don't have anything else to say though, so our conversation devolves into an uncomfortable silence. Alright then, shall we go and see what Aki's doing and how she's, you know, fucking manipulating. Or... no, we're going to go back to Detective Gursky. Let's do that.